I exist. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. I actually do exist. Hello. Hello everyone. Hello. And welcome to the first stream of Spooktober, my favorite season. My absolute favorite season. How is everyone today? I mean, Sagittarius, you already said that you're feeling a bit sick, but insert Splatoon joke? Oh well. You see, we're going to talk about Echinodermata today. So 6 stars. Indeed. Thank you. It's my favorite season. Tis the season. It is the season for a spooky eepy month. For me, it's a very eepy month. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I don't see the sun enough, and it's even worse. The cold and the lack of sun makes me want to sleep a lot. Today will be a bit more on the long side, because we're going to explore Echinodermata with quite a thing. Like it's Echinodermata. I'm sorry about the title. So what we're going to see with that is what we traditionally call sea cucumbers, sea urchins, sea stars, and brittle stars, and also feather stars. Those are basically the 5 families of animals that we're going to be able to see today. But first of all, since we enter Echinodermata, well, we went about Metazoa last class. We went about Metazoa. We talked about jellyfish, the Nidarians, the Ctenarians, and maybe yes, and the Poriferas. So sponges, jellyfish, and comb jellies. And now we jumped a few hoops. It is indeed the fucked up Patrick picture. It is indeed the fucked up Patrick. Good to see you have a good eye. You have a good eye. No, it's indeed what it is. It is indeed what it is. Put the chat in direct because it indeed is what it is. If I were to, I mean, I can't really change it right now, but yeah, it absolutely is. Yeah, absolutely is. It's in its final form. And I like that the anatomy has been absolutely respected. Even though there's some things. We can talk about some things. SpongeBob Jujito, imagine. Just imagine. But well, what was I talking about? Yes. So we went through Metazoa before, and now we're going to jump a few hoops, which is Bilateria and Deuterostomians 1, and Echinodermata. So 3 families that we're going to explore, like the two first words for Bilateria and Deuterostomians at first, and then we're going to go into the main subject of this class, which is Echinodermata, the ectoderms, which basically means like pointy skin, if I go right. Okay, so Bilateria is pretty easy. Bilateria is when we invented symmetry. It's literally just that. We invented symmetry, and what's important is that we have two hypotheses for what the ancestor of all Biletarians, like the ancestors of all Biletarians would look like, and those are the two prototypes. We have a planuloid archetype, which has a single cavity as a digestive tube, doesn't have an anus, only has a mouth, and you know it rejects the thing. It has eyes. We consider that eyes can be part of the things that we would describe for most Biletarians, and it has quite a diffuse nervous system, like what we'd find in flatworms, platenments. Which means that there's those characters that are absent. The anus, the protonephrides. Protonephrides are basically the like a proto kidney system, a proto toxic waste like treatment system for the body. It would like it would like a nervous system. It would like a column. It would like, and also it would be very little. There would be very little cephalization. Cephalization is the phenomenon where you see that most of the organs that deal with senses are in the head, which is the truth for most Biletarians. Hello, Helisaurus, and hello, H. Hello, and welcome to class. Which is also the first stream of Spooky Month. I hope that you're well. I hope that you're comfortable. I'm a bit teepy, but it's alright. I was explaining what Biletaria was because, like I said before, by going into this class, before we explored jellyfishes come jellies, and jellyfishes come jellies, and what else? Jellyfish come jellies, and yes, sponges. So it was only in Metazoa. We go for the cnidarians, the ctenarians, etc. Then we went for Bilateria, so symmetry, and Deuterostomian, and then we will go to Echiderms. Ah, the Spooky Month dance. Yeah, I love the Spooky Month dance. I need to make an animation of that. I definitely need to make an animation of that. So who pinged me? Huh. Okay, I will simply like close Discord. Bye bye. If someone DMs me, it will be closed. Okay. So, like I said before, there's two main hypotheses for what a true Biletarian ancestor would look like. And you have this, like I would say, this much less complex system that could be found, or it's much higher complex. Meaning that if you were saying that the base Biletarian would be that, like the basis of all Biletarians, every single Biletarians that do not have the characteristics that are present here, so a segmented coelom, meaning a segmented abdomen, a heart, nervous ganglions, protonephrides refer to basically the kidneys, its kidneys, a brain, a high cephalization event, both a mouth and an anus. That means that every single thing after that in Biletarians that do not have those characters, they would have reverted them. They basically would have reverted those characters. If we went for this for this consideration, you would need to basically develop all those characters for every single species after that do have them. If you were to go simply for the fact that, for example, flatworms. Imagine if flatworms were the ones that had the quote unquote the least innovations, like where the least change from the base, from the basis of all Biletarians. Well, you will need to develop all those characters, all those new characters. Depends. It's about 50-50 if you were only to look at the anatomy. I don't exactly know how it is when it comes to the genes. Like I haven't looked at the... I haven't looked at... How is it called again? Ribosomal. I haven't looked at the ribosomal results because... Oh, hello him! And they indeed do be looking like some tasty looking gloves, but those are your ancestors. Everyone's ancestors. This is the base plan for absolutely everything. This is very interesting because also you invent two symmetries there. You invent two symmetries with those living babies, which is dorsal, ventral, yes, and you create front, back, and you create well, back for dorsal. You know, your actual back, and of course your tummy, your tummy. That's what's being created there, and that's the most important that you need to know. Most important thing that you need to know is here. Even more important, we're going to look at deuterostomians. So you go bilateria, and after bilateria you have two main division, protostomians and deuterostomians. Let me see. Yeah. Look at that. It's there. Okay, so you have bilateria, and then you have protostomians and deuterostomians. What changes between the two? Because you see that they are the flatworms, but what we've seen there, they are the nemerts. The nemerts are weird. They are weird worms. The annelids, that are, you know, earthworms, sea worms, a lot of kind of worms. What else do we have? They're weird. Venatostomes, which are basically... I don't even know anymore. Oh yeah, you have the arthropoda, which has, you know, the insects. You have the nematodes, which are worms. Other kind of worms. You have a lot of worms here. Yeah, what you need to learn is that being a bilaterian is basically the apparition of the worm body plan. Because hemichordata here, what you see, you have deuterostomians, you have the chordates, but that is us, we are the chordates. And then you have the other things that we're going to explore in next classes. I mean, very succinctly, because we don't know a lot about them. And in hemichordata, you have a lot of worms. You have basically worms that are like nearer to us than like other worms would be. Oh yeah, some of the scariest thing ever in SpongeBob. Parasites of a lot of things. Nematodes are parasites to both plants and animals and mushrooms. Nematodes are scary powerful when it comes to parasitism. But yeah, what technically changes between a deuterostomian and a protostomian? It's the history of the embryon. Like, fundamentally, as an animal, as a non-metazoa, so as a true animal, when you become an embryon, you create this beach ball anatomy, this literally this water balloon anatomy. You have the cells and you have a pocket full of water there. In protostomians, that SpongeBob whole ass house, yeah, they did. That they did. In protostomians, you have a hole that is being created there. That will lead to a apparition of a column, as you've seen here. And this hole, at the very beginning of this hole, will make what will be the mouth of a creature that will be developed from this anatomy. In deuterostomians, the hole there will form the anus. So you can say that your anus has been, as a human, your anus appeared before your mouth. But that is true. That is a fact. Your anus was created before your mouth. You were made as first into the world. Contrary to most very noble insects and invertebrates. I mean, not invertebrates, because we are going to talk about invertebrates that are very near to us. Like most protostomians, the insects, the anarchnids, the crustaceans. Uranus appears before the mouth. Indeed. Too bad that we don't have like a planet called the mouth. that that would be so awesome. Like we have a planet or an asteroid that is called the mouth. But yeah, what we're going to explore in the next classes, because this category is super big and super explored, is those the Deuterostomians, the Anus people. That's us. I mean, I'm a worm, so I'm more like that. My mouth was made first. Thank you very much. My mouth is not a filthy hole made for my anus. No, my anus is a filthy hole made for my mouth. Very different. There's a ton of difference there. And we're going to talk about Echinodermata. When you play it with old cloud object, mouth. We do need one. We do need one. But yeah, we're going to talk about Echinodermata. Haven't done the etymology of echinoderms, but echin for literally spike and derm for mouth for skin. So spiky skin, spiky skin. Yeah. There's a bunch of Hollow Knight jokes in future class. No cost too great. No cost too great. What we need to know about Echinodermata is that they took a lot of advantage of the sex update. During the sex update, they are able to do a lot of weird things in order to reproduce. Next class better not be delayed like Silk Song. Maybe the class about the insects will be delayed because insects are hell. There's too many of them. So we might need to wait exactly like Silk Song when it comes to insects. But yeah, during the sex updates, the echinoderms, this image is very small because it comes from literal 2003. There's a lot of these things that would even have no voice to cry suffering. Yes. No will to break. No will to break. That's the most important you need to understand. No will to break. But yeah, they can do, some of them, most of them, do sexual reproduction. And something that is very different from what we've seen before in life, is that in echinoderms, you have a true distinction between male and females, and usually they are separate. That means that there's some species of them that do the whole like they do the whole hermaphroditism thing, but usually they don't bother. There's males, there's females, and they do their sexual reproduction pretty good. They would be a liar indeed. I need to play Hollow Knight on stream. However, like you could see in what we call a literal comet form for this star is in what we call a comet form. Some species, a lot of species in fact, now with real dicks. Unfortunately not yet. The evolution of the penis is actually something that is very interesting because the penis evolved multiple times during the history of life, in both Deuterostomians and Protostomians completely independently. But we are not yet at this update for the sex update. The next patch for the sex updates doesn't yet have penises, but or vaginas. But as I'm going to tell you, we begin to see the rudiments. But for now, we are still with some species that can literally cut off one of their arms and see another one of them appear from this new arm. It's in some sea stars, and they do literally what we call a comet form, because you have the trail of a comet and you have the head of a comet. Yes, indeed, we did talk about the sex update a ton of classes ago, but I'm going to talk about the sex update a lot. And I'm going to say More like that. It's more akin to that. The changelog for the Eukaryota contained both a sexual reproduction in adult form and in larval form, and sexual reproduction. And it depends on the species. Now you must say, okay, so you're going to talk about urchins and sea cucumbers and sea stars. We know what they look like. We know what they look like. You know, it's pretty easy. You find them. You do them. You find you know, there's round things that look like a penis, and then there's star things, and there's also like literally plant things, but we're going to talk about them later. Well, too bad for you, bucko. Echinoderms are fucking weird. Some of them literally looking like a 2003 horror game creature. I didn't even know them before I did the research. But in the Devonians, they were freaking weird. Let me tell you that. They were absolutely freaking weird. Life was still trying at this point. It was still trying to do things. Like, I don't even know what this stuff of nightmares is made of, but you want to see, like, this looks like a facehugger. Like this looks like a proto facehugger. Like come on, like you can't even like invent that. You can't even think about that. Like, it's unthinkable. Imagine you have that in your ocean today. Usually I'm a big fan of the ocean, but with that, no. Yeah. Precambrian and Cambrian shit are absolutely wild. I will have to talk about the Burgess shell once upon in one of those days, because the Cambrian explosion was fucking bullshit. The Cambrian explosion was absolutely bullshit when it comes to the life forms that you would see there. But it was like it was a period of very rapid evolution, with a lot of things that were tried, tested, and most of them failed. But sometimes they did still make babies. Those babies being successful. Yeah. Oh shit. Okay, so what's also very important about the Echinoderms is that they have larvae. Why? Like you would see a sea star. You see a sea star and you say, okay, you talked about like symmetry there. I don't see symmetry. Well, I would say, okay, well, you just have to cut them in two according to a special organ that I will go to show you, that I'm going to show you very soon. Like, okay, for those you could see the symmetry. For the sea cucumbers, you could see the symmetry. Less evident for the stars. You can still cut them in two, according to only one plane of symmetry. One plane only, due to one organ that is not symmetrical, radially. Yeah, wow, that's animal and stuff. Ah, the history of everything. I know. I know my references, Darius. I know my references. The history of everything. By Bill Wirtz. But don't worry, during their lifespan, sea stars are indeed completely bilateral. Because those are the larvae that you could find. Those are the larvae of Nophiura, like a brittle star. But sea stars are a freaking alien when they begin their stuff. But what you need to understand is that they have a complete bilateral symmetry, and that they're forming their arms. They are literally forming their... Those are planktons. Yeah, they have a fucking lava star that constitute part of the plankton. Because the plankton usually is not just fully formed animals, sometimes it is. Sometimes it's cells, algae, and all that. But a big part of the plankton are actually the larvae, the literal babies of most stuff that there is in the ocean. Like little fish, little octopus, little crustacean. And of course, those things. Like those alien looking motherfuckers. And they move. They actually do swim. They actually do swim, which is even more egregious. And you see, this is where the anus is of the star, of the sea star. Those are the larvae of the sea star. And becomes more and more complex, and then it goes, creates the arm, and boom! Things happen. Things happen, and you have a sea star by the end. By the very end, you have a sea star, and let me show you. Yeah, this is the traditional aspect of a larva. When it comes to different families of echinoderms. Which brainworm are you, and what's the best bug spray to use against you? Which I am kind of unique, and you could use like your like whatever dewormer that your doctor would recommend. It could work against me. Spray wouldn't really work because I'm inside someone, so it's alright. Like, I'm not the girl, I'm the girl inside her brain. Which is why I could take a completely new host and you would not see a difference in my voice. I do manipulate something. I do manipulate some things. But yeah, she's my little puppet. She do everything that I tell her to do. Oh, rather than I think that she should do. Sometimes it comes out. But yeah, here you have sea cucumbers larvae. Here you have urchin larvae. This is a sea star, this is brittle stars, and this is feather stars. Another thing that is pretty cool about echinoderms, and is common to all of them, is that they have a unique vascular system. What you need to know is that echinoderms are hydraulically operated. They are hydraulically operated. So what they have is they have this little organ, this little scale, called the madreporite. The madreporite is a little scale, a little bone. No, Vtuber can't be a biology chops. Well, as you can see, this madreporite is this little bone that you see here. I'm going to expand this. This is in 3D. This is in 3D. The star has been cut here. This is like the madreporite is a little scale that you can see here, but it's present in all the sea stars. All of the sea stars, most urchins, all brittle stars, not sea cucumbers, they have it. And what it has is a lot of pores. You know, madreporite has a lot of pores. It's used to filter water, and this water goes inside this ring and those your canals that are highly innerved. And what they do is that they control the pressure of the water that comes from inside this madreporite. Because we control the pressure of this water, and because it's articulated, the sea star can move and operate its own skeleton. Oh yeah, something that did I talk about it? Yes, I did talk about it, but in very succinctly, very succinctly. Yeah, so sea stars, they basically either piss or drink some water in order to move, and they contract their guts, because here you would have the stomach and you would have the gonads. The gonads are the reproductive organs. They are the organs that produce the sex cells, that produce the cells for sex, either sperm or eggs in animals. That's the term. That's gonad. Gonads for and that's why we have, for example, testosterone is called a gonadotrophic hormone, because it comes from a gonad, the testicles. Estrogen is about the same. Again, you have the stone canal, which basically is this organ. The madreporite is unique in sea stars because you only have one. You are able to basically cut the sea star on one single plane. And there you absolutely do see that there is only one plane of symmetry for sea stars. Like, you have one plane of symmetry. It is indeed a bilateral animal. Even though it tries to hide it and say, no guys, I reverted to radial symmetry. Don't worry, I'm like a jellyfish, I reverted to radial symmetry. No, we know their games. They're fake. They're faking gay. Look at that. They hide, but we do know. Okay, so they also have a radial ring. So they have a nerve ring right there. This is an urchin, if you needed to know. You can see the madreporite. This is the anus. This is the mouth. You see the digestive system. And you have the anus. You have a madreporite. Yeah, indeed, fake symmetry. Fake radial symmetry. You have a little tube feet. Oh yeah, they are hydraulically operated, but I'm going to show you after that. They use tube feet and a little crab claws that they use. They use water pressure in order to move those. But they have this radial nerve, and then they have another nerve. They have other nerves that go all the way and form a grid inside of them. So what happens if you cut off that arm with this organ? Depends on the species. Some species can literally be cut in two, and they will be able to reform and regenerate. Some species will not be able to take it. Like the metroporite is not present on the arm. Like the arm is relatively independent because the metroporite is relatively in the center. Let me show you one highly visible example. Highly visible example. See in this star. In this star, you have the metroporite right there. Holy shit, there's a lot of message. Stupid highly developed wannabe jellyfish. Pretty much. Basically, you have that. The arms are relatively independent from the center. So if you cut an arm, normally the jellyfish, the sea star is usually safe. It's usually safe. It can even most sea stars and most echinoderms have a high capacity for regeneration. So there are some jellyfish where you cut them in half and you have two of them. No, that's a beautiful thing. Jellyfish do not have this enormous capacity of regeneration that echinoderms have. Like, we are actually studying echinoderms to try to see if we can regrow limbs in mammals. Like, it's very interesting to see how we can still recreate a whole limb. And sometimes from a single limb, for some species, from a single limb you create another individual. Fully formed with another metroporite. But normally, in most cases, you have a limited amount of HP, and then you can regenerate. You know, like in Call of Duty. In the case of some, you can literally cut them in two. For some species, it is critical damage. For some other species, pretty much no. They can either, like, depending on the thing, either they can survive a traumatic session and create two new individuals, or they actually need to prepare for it and go slowly, gently. They create this new arm that is capable of making this new individual, and they cut themselves. Brittle stars do about the same, but brittle stars are even weirder than what you think. Brittle stars are scary. They are super scary. Like you will see how scary brittle stars are. No, that's not what I want. Please. Oh shit. Let's go. What was I? Oh yeah, I was here. So this is the relative, like, every single ancestors, like every single echinoderms, usually follow this kind of plan. Where you have the mouth, the esophagus, the ampulla, which are basically where you have the water that is coming, because you have the metroporite, you have the radial thing there, and then you have the ampullae that are going to control the pressure of the water in the pods, in the tube feet, and that is what is going to allow them to move. But you not only have tube feet, you also have these pedicellaridae that I'm going to show you way after. That are literally crab claws, or sometimes like triclaws, little arms that can be used in order to groom yourself, to get rid of parasites, to cling to your environment, or in some extreme cases, predation, to actually grab the prey. And sometimes even kill them. It does happen. It is a known fact for some species. Not of urchins, because urchins are usually pretty cool. For sea stars. Some sea stars are then capable of literally hunting for very fast prey, like, you know, little small fish, thanks to those organs. This is a scary thought. And also, most echinoderms also have, due to their names, like spiny skin, they have a highly developed skeleton, in which you do see the madreporites. You do see the madreporites right there. What was I wanted to say? Oh yeah, and basically you see echinoderms and you have a lot of bloody plants. That's what I wanted to say. That's basically what I wanted to say. So now we can actually get ourselves acquainted with the first of our friends of the echinoderms, the Clinoidea, which are like they are still in echinoderms. They are the most removed group. They are the least related. They are a pretty early group of echinoderms, and those are feather stars. Feather stars, feather stars, feather stars. Feather stars are pretty cool. They existed. We have fossil records of them for at least 500 million years. From at least 500 million years ago, and they are present in pop culture as Lilip, my little Lilip. They were found. Something that is very interesting is that the ones that we found usually keep this body plan. In the ancestral body plan of a feather star, you have this stem. You have a stem, you have the feet that are going to anchor it, and then you have the mouth and you have the feathers. You have the arms. You have the arms and you have the mouth. Exactly like Lilip. You have the little feet that anchors it, the stem, the mouth, and the arms. Sorry. 500. Please. Please. Indeed. And when I say MY, it's for mega years. So mega, so million years. Because I'm going to use GY. I've already used GY before for giga years. For billion. That's what it's just what I do. I like to keep things efficient. So the base anatomy of crinoids is you have a holdfast, you have a column, so you have this stalk, you have the arms, you have the pinnules right there that you can see, and you have the crown. Well, you have the crown that has the mouth, and that has the pinnules and the arms. Mega years or maybe years? Mega years. Mega. Mega. But here in most modern species of crinoids, so feather stars, you have the holdfast and you have the crown. Directly, you don't have a column, you don't have a true stem. You don't have a true stem. It helps for most species that are found in what I would say like in most pelagic zones, but we know that deep sea feather stars do sometimes have a stem. Like there are some species that do keep the stem. They are relatively small. What do we do to feed? Usually they feed on the stuff that floats, and that's where the feathers come from. That's why the feathers are very useful. It's because those feathers contain the hydraulic feet that you see there. Those hydraulic feet will be able to go in the current of the water because with the feathers you augment, you basically add a lot of surface. Like you add a lot of area. With this kind of area, you can basically filter the water. You have the feet that catch all the organic matter that comes around. It can smell and then it can catch it. The feet then will move from the stem, from the arm. Right around there, it will move, and it will travel right to the mouth. And that's how it's feed. Also, yes, the anus is here. It does poop. There are fossil records of poop from this animal, which is pretty cool. Like you would not think that this kind of animal would have an anus, because for us it basically looks like a plant. The feet are the one doing the sniffing this time, and you see that feet are going to do much more than sniffing after that. Like you could insert cartoon running effects, pretty much. you know, do you know the concept in D&D of a peasant railgun? The peasant railgun is basically due to an instantaneous action. You have someone that abuse the fact that you can give an object to someone instantaneously. And then, because it travels a certain distance, in one action, which is 6 seconds, you can attribute a speed, which would be equivalent to a railgun. But it's just giving one hand to another. So you know this kind of movie where you have people that pass down a bucket to quench a fire? Yeah, that's basically that. That's basically that. But this time with arms and food. It's a flaw in the system of D&D, yes indeed. It is a flaw. But it was only present in like 4th edition, I think, and 3.5. I don't think that it's possible to do it in 5e. I think that it's only possible to, like, to give to give and receive an item once, something like that. But I did fall in love with the concept of a peasant railgun. Like it's present in 1d4 chan. Like, let me look at that. 1d4 chan. Like it's 1d4chan.org, which is now completely a legacy. It's a legacy website because it's not on Google anymore. And I can't find it in Google. Peasant railgun in 1d4chan. If someone wants to find it, if someone wants to actually look at it, that's the link. That's the link for peasant railgun in 1d4chan. Be wary though, 1d4chan is going to consume your life if you begin to read there. It's going to consume your life. There's way too many pages. And they're way too based. Oh shit, it's recent changes. Damn. Oh, it's still alive. It's still alive actually. Damn. It's not just legacy. Peasant Railgun is my second favorite exploit behind the ended computer. Oh yeah. Yeah, I love it. But yeah, if this thing was in D&D, it would basically not exist anymore. Because due to the way actions exist, it would give itself instantaneously food in less than 6 seconds, meaning that it would then have supersonic food coming right towards its mouth, meaning that it would kill itself by feeding. Oh god. Imagine just all the Cherenkov radiations. Light speed. Literal light speed food. Oh yeah. And something else about them is that they actually move. Like the Jurassic version that I showed you, the fossilized version, were considered to be truly sessile, like they were truly fixed in place. Those whether they have a stem or not, are capable of moving if the environment is not to their liking. So they can swim. And those that can swim are pretty much the only swimming echinoderms. And you saw this video about, you know, oh, you saw an alien. Yeah, no, that was just a feather star. Feather star doing their thing. I find them kind of cute. Like, except this one, because this one you could imagine that in a literal horror movie. You could see that happening. Like, imagine you have this thing. And come on, Avatar has invented nothing. I would love to see, like, imagine you have something that you took for a plant and you see during the night that it's moving. It's moving like that. Ugh, I love it. It's very spoopy. It is very, very spoopy. But it allows us to go into Echinoderma proper. The sea cucumbers. In which you could really see, you can really see the bilateral symmetry right there. It's neat. It's neat and precise. You do see the back. You do see the front. You do see a back. This is the front. There's a mouth that is there. This is where the anus is. This is inside of that's where the lungs are. Or the gills rather. The lung gills. And then you do have the feet. The ventral feet. Which is the case for every single one of the echinoderms. So think about it. What the sea star presents to you, with like I'm going to do, like I'm doing to make you remember. When you see a madreporite, the anus is nearby. The sea star always presents its mouth towards the ground. If you see the back of a sea star, like Patrick, you are most likely seeing its anus, which makes you a pervert, a baka hentai, as some of the most cultured girls will say. What's really cool about sea cucumbers is that they have a lot of anatomies. I don't like this. I don't like this. I mean, I don't like the fact that can you bring it in front? No. Okay. Well, they have a lot of different anatomies. Like you could see, like I think this one is called the pineapple sea cucumber, something like that. I don't remember. And it's not the only one. Like those are sea cucumbers too. Like this is a sea pig. Everyone knows the sea pig. The sea pig is cool. Like everyone loves the sea pig. Like, this pig is kind of cute. It's kind of cute. And you see that it has like some arms that are divided and goes into the feet. And since it's see-through, you could actually see how it's operated, how it's goodly operated. And you see the mouth, and there's going to be the anus. Sea cucumbers are pretty special among echinoderms, in that they don't actually have a skeleton. I mean, they do have like some micro things that do look like ossicules. So ossicules is for os, like it's one of the prefix in French and in Latin for bones. So ossicules means very small bones. Here you do have them using their lungs in order to feed, and this just looks like a beholder. Like some sea cucumbers actually do swim, which make some people confuse them with jellyfish. This has nothing to do with a jellyfish. This is in fact while it does look weirder than a jellyfish, is more related to us than we are to jellyfish. Even though this looks like an alien. Like, come on, this actually do look like an alien. Like, you're not going to tell me that this, if you find that in an alien... Oh yeah, but speaking of D&D, yeah, you do know. You do see that. Yeah, it does look like a beholder. Like, I do love jellyfish too. The previous episode was about jellyfish. The previous episode was indeed about jellies. We love them jellies. And we still have a video about the comb jelly. The comb jelly. Ctenarians, absolutely based. And they were the one that invented the anus. And you have here the body plan of a sea cucumber, because it's kind of special, but it allows us to understand like you do see like that allows us to see how related they are to the other ones. Like you do see the tentacles that finish into the tube feet. Like you have a tube fix right there. But then you have a cloaca, and you have the anus. I mean, the cloaca also has the respiratory tree. But you have the gonads that are near the mouth, which is weird because remember, with the urchin, you have the eggs here. You have the eggs near the madreporites. And well, I pretty much lied. Yeah, the jellyfish class was the one before. But don't worry about it. It was kind of short. But here you have a little anus. Here you have a mouse. Here's the ring canal, and here's the stone canal. But you don't have a madreporite. The stone canal, remember, is what's linked to a madreporite. But you don't have one. However, it's still hydraulically operated. It's just not filtered. It's just not filtered. And I think that, like, my hypothesis is that they devolved the madreporites because the urchins that are related to sea cucumbers, like they are the echinoderms that are most related to sea cucumbers, do have a madreporite. They do have it. I think that I have. Yeah, I do have a splinter in my. No, it's. Oh no, it's just a paper cut. It's just a paper cut. Yeah, my finger was weirdly. My finger was weirdly painful for a moment. And like I said before, they don't have the developed skeletons, but they do have ossicles. So inside of their feet, inside of inside of other structures, they do have like little tiny bones, but it's less than a millimeter. Like you wouldn't be able to see them if you were to eat it. I think it would fuck up your teeth, but nothing more. Like it could be used as an abrasive, but pretty much nothing more. It's like smaller than a grain of sand. So I think that they pretty much evolved out of having a skeleton, which you know the skeleton seems kind of overrated, according to my very honest opinion. Indeed. And well, the reproduction of our little friend is again like most echinoderms. You have distinct male and females. But they do have an innovation. They either release the eggs and the sperm into the ocean, like everyone else, or some species that do have a female use their mouth tentacle in order to catch the sperm and put it into the cloaca, like direct it towards the cloaca in order to be fertilized, to have the eggs develop and literally hatch, and then they expose them. So they still expose the larva that is pretty much unable to fend for itself and most likely will die 90% of the time. I will even say 95% of the time, or maybe even 99% of the time. But contrary to most animals inside of the ocean, they do care for their young. There is a degree of young caring. Which is weird because you think about a fucking sea penis and you don't think, yes, this is one of the best mother of the animal kingdom. You don't think about that. Like you see frogs literally abandon their youngs. Like most things do actually. Most things do. Mammals don't do that because it's part of a strategy, but like this isn't even part of a strategy, like of a main strategy. This is not part of a defining main strategy. And yet they still do it. And I present to you, well, one of the best mothers of the animal kingdom. The fucking sea cucumber. Fucking sea vegetable. Sometimes better mothers than some humans. I love them. Yes, sea squirts. Some are toxic. Also, something that is interesting. Some are used in food. Some sea cucumbers. I don't recommend. And a lot of them are actually toxic and will defend against predators using both toxins and intimidation techniques, like purging themselves of their respiratory tree. Not exactly the best event for them, like it's pretty traumatic. But since echinoderms have a very powerful regenerative power, they can afford to do that. They can afford to literally shit out their lungs. I mean that everyone is weirded out enough that they don't attack after that. And they sometimes do have fish that parasite them, but by going inside of their anus. The universe has a sense of humor incomprehensible to most. Indeed. But you know what? I like it. It is mysterious, and it is fantastical because of that. And now we have sea urchins. Which are a near cousin of the sea cucumbers. Because if we go back into the tree, and you have sea cucumbers in Holofuroidea, and Echinodea. And the Echinodermata are basically urchins. So delicious. Absolutely delicious. And you see all the feet there. All of the feet. Except, those are not feet. I mean, what are those? No, those are most likely feet. It's either the feet of a grabby because I do see a grabby there. Yeah, you see that? That's most likely a grabby. And sea urchins are pretty cool because we easily find them. They're easily recognizable thanks to their skeleton. Which is that. This is a modern sea urchin. But this is something that we found in the Jurassic, so we need to imagine like a sea urchin that was pyramidal. And this is another thing that was found in the Jurassic. I think, no, this one is from 10 million years ago, and this was indeed from the Jurassic. So, the body plan of the sea urchin, lots of success. Like, apparently it has a lot of success because anatomically the skeleton hasn't changed that much. Like, it hasn't changed that much, and I'm sure that they are just about as delicious today as they were before. What's special about sea urchins is that they are weird. In another way, they have their own brand of weirdness. Because, like you said, like Ryza said, the echinoderms do spiffing through the feet. Well, urchins, they do the seeing through the fucking feet. They are the literal only animal that don't have eyes and are still capable to see. And we did some studies. To be sensitive to an image, their resolution is absolutely shit. Like, you need an image to occupy 70 degrees of their field of vision to actually have a resolution, to actually have a recognizable resolution. The thing is, one, they are still capable of making an image inside of their head and react to it using fucking feet. So not even a specialized organ. For feet that are connected to a radial nerve. So not even like not even a ganglion. Like, it's literally just a ring nerve. Just a ring nerve. It's like the most decentralized shit you could even think of. They're still able to see and to react to what they are seeing. With aggression, with fleeing, and with other stuff. I mean, those are sea urchin. I can't interpret their thoughts. They're way too simple. The ultimate Vtuber feet crosser. I mean, they would know. They would know. Like, they see through them. Like, they see through them. And yes, they are. That means that using their little grabby claws and their feet, they're capable of seeing. So you know why they open? So that's why their feet are open like that. Because it's light sensitive. It's sensitive to a variation of eyes, like to a variation of lights. So sea urchins are literally, and I'm repeating myself, the only animals without any eyes to be capable to make an image. To be capable of actually having an image, recognizing an image. And how do they do that? They have the molecule that is sensitive to light inside of our eyes, called the opsins, present inside of our feet. And they are sensitive to two light waves, red and purple. So, which is pretty good because red and purple, that means that either you have like red and purple, those are pretty important colors inside of the sea. Especially when you live in tidal pools, because something that you need to understand in water is that water absorbs more and more the light wave, the wavelength of the lights, coming from a bigger wavelength to the smaller, so less energy dense to the most energy, less energy to the most energy. Red comes first. Red coming first. So that means that they can still orient themselves using that. Imagine if they know instinctively by the amount of red that they're able to see that is present in the water, if they are at the right depth. Oh yeah, something that I haven't said about sea cucumbers. You know that some mammals do hibernate? Well, sea cucumbers can do the reverse. Some can estivate. So if the water is way too hot for their liking, they can go into a deep sleep in which they atrophy all of their organs, and when the water is back to what they would like, well, they come back to life. Yeah, that's something that I wanted to say because it's interesting. But urchins have another pretty interesting organ, very unique among them. It's called Aristotle's lantern, which is one of the most elaborate mouth parts of the whole animal kingdom. It is a 40-part bone that has a lot of muscles, and that uses their 5 teeth in order to both both rip out their food and to grind it. Urchins chew on their food. Like, you know the thing about you know the thing with sea stars, you know, they pre-digest their food, and then they put it inside they put their stomachs outside, they pre-digest, and then they go and they absorb it back to digest it, you know, once and for all. Like, no, those things chew, those things eat, like you and me. They actually have this capacity. They actually do have this capacity, and they have a lot of muscles specialized in the operation of this mouth. And their teeth are ever growing. They have what you don't see here are the beginning of the teeth. The teeth grow, and so they need to chew. So what would they need those kinds of teeth? What do they feed on if they need those kinds of teeth? Teeth that are constantly growing. They graze. They be grazing, my dudes. So they feed on algae and detritus that you find everywhere. And that's what they do. That's what they like. That's what they like to do. That's the stuff with sea urchins. Sometimes it can be good because they are they are indeed a limiting factor when it comes to algae propagation. They literally make ecosystems and remake ecosystems. So imagine like the Scottish Highlands. They graze like the average soul player. Graze! But yeah, they're basically like the cow/rodents of the sea. Which is like, they are literally like, you know, they are like the ruminants of the sea, because most of them are vegetarian, or at least they find what they want on the sea floor, and they just eat it. I don't know about the species of carnivorous urchin. Like, I simply don't know about that. I don't think they are. I simply don't think they are. But yeah, they're like sea goats, and just like sheep or cows, urchins are really tasty. Really tasty. But yeah, but if you see a very brightly colored urchin, please don't touch it, because both it will be able to see you, and it will have the will to touch you too, with its spines that break easily and are full of venom. Oh yeah, sea urchins can sometimes be venomous. Yeah, there's a ton of them, so please don't ever be stung by a sea urchin, because you never know where it comes from. You never know where it goes. You never know where it goes. Also, there's the massive risk of infection. Oh, it's almost over. Shit, we're almost over. Oh damn. So next, very much next, we are going to talk about horrids, also called brittle stars. They are, for me, the spookiest of the echinoderms. Like, you see the feet. They are animated by hydraulic pressure, just like everyone else. And they look like sea stars because they are the most common cousins of the sea star. Like, they are the other group. But you need to understand there that they are about as separate from a sea star as a sea cucumber would be from a sea urchin. So they are very much very separate. Like there's about, if I remember correctly, there's about like 6,000 estimated species of beetle stars. So that's a lot of species. But what's the spookiest thing of them all, and it's most in season, is the skeletons. The skeletons are absolutely the spookiest thing that I've ever seen. Because you would think that it's a fake, but no. No, it isn't. These bones right there are literally called vertebrae. They arrange their skeletons into vertebrae. So this is the creature that has 5 spines, a mouth, and no brain. And about 1,000 million feet. You have Lovecraft's nightmare. You have a Lovecraftian nightmare. Because another thing that they do is that we know at least 60 species of them that are bioluminescent. So, you know the ancient ones? Starfish aliens? Yeah, this is why we have a trope on TV trope that is called Starfish aliens. Because look at that, that is a literal vertebrae. You have everything to do with vertebrae, you have everything to do with spine. Like, this is insane. Also, yes, this is exactly that. Something else that is important with them is that they are just about as comestible, they are just about as edible as any other echinoderms, sea star included, and of course urchin included. Problem is, you see their massive bones protect their inside, so both predators and humans are not really that interested in eating them, because you know the test, what we call the skeleton of an echinoderm, the test of an urchin, is basically just a sphere. So after the sphere, you have after you break the sphere, you have all the goodness that is inside, that the goopy goodness that is. Rattle them bones! I'm not Jones. I'm very sorry. I'm not Jones. Alright, lad. You will rattle them bones. But yeah, because of the skeleton, they basically protected themselves from both predators and humans. And they are considered to be kind of an invasive species right now. Because they take a lot of advantage on... they take advantage on the high water temperatures. I mean, this is the mouth part. This is the mouth part of a brittle star. I didn't understand any of the schematics that try to explain it, so that's why I didn't try to explain how it works, because I simply didn't explain. Like I saw visualization of it, but I simply don't know how it works. Like they do have a defined mouth, as you see here, but no, I'm not going to explain that one. Like this is too elaborated, complicated, even for me. Even for me. And that's basically all I have to say about them, because everything that I could say about them, I could say also about the Asteridae, which are also called the sea stars. In which this is a Golden Star. Say hello, Golden Star. Yeah, that's what I thought. And Golden Star is kind of stupid. He's inside a sea star after all. And you know, he does what he can. Wait, do I have a filter for this? Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, because I have her. Yeah. Oh, voila. Thank you. Finally, I'm able to do Golden Star. I'm able to do Golden Star voices. Like, hello. My name's Golden Star. And you would think that, given what I said about brittle stars, sea stars would be more like, you know, your classical 5-branched star that are fake jellyfish. Nope. Nope. Sometimes they even try to disguise it even higher. Some try to be circles. Main turtle moment. Oh no. Some try to say no. I don't have actually a 5 symmetry. I'm actually completely symmetrical. You see? You can't exactly do a symmetry. Symmetry. Where's where's the madroporites? Oh, well, those are all asteroids. Those are all sea stars. You would think that this would be an actual brittle star. Nope, it's a sea star. It's a sea star. Unfortunately, we have to live with that. They are pretty diverse. Like, they are more diverse than brittle stars. But they are also, like, morphologically they are more diverse than brittle stars. But you have to understand that brittle stars are literally made of bones. Like, literally made out of bones. So you're kind of limited in your shapes. If you want to literally become the tank of the Echinoderm faction, not like the tank, more like the armored vehicle, because the tank of the Echinoderm faction would be like the urchin. The urchin that is absolutely delicious. Because it functions exactly the same way. You break the hard exterior and you get into the goopy, soft, warm insides. Sea stars, they do have a skeleton, they do have an elaborate skeleton, but what defines them is that the skeletons is made out of plates. Made out of very visible plates, that you can see here. Some of them devolved from it, and in the abyss, basically abandoned skeleton and plates in order to have a skeletonized skin, like an actual hard skin. But we know them, we understand them. What they do too is that they have a ton of feet, of course. They have a ton of feet, and sometimes they have organs that allow them to get into the sand better, which is these feet right there, that allow them to basically dig themselves into the sand and get out pretty efficiently. But how to recognize a sea star? They have scales. All of them are scalies. They are basically the scalies of the Echinoderm kingdom. Another thing about sea stars that distinguish them from brittle stars is that they can see. This is what we call an ocella. And this is something... French food. It looks weird. Nobody wants to eat it. It is a national dish. This is what we call an ocella. An ocella is basically a cluster of light-sensitive cells. So specialized light-sensitive cell. It is a specialized organ that detects light and movements. So basically, kind of a weird eye. And they have one for each one of their arms. For each one of their arms, they have one ocella at the very end. So red sickle, I should have put like a red arrow, and I should have included the vine boom. But you win some, you lose some. So then, also, the quality of their vision is often linked to what they eat, to their feeding habits. And we have found that predatory sea stars have a better visual acuity than those that basically eat the trash of the ocean. So imagine what it would happen if a star would be able to see perfectly. The Mr. Beast. But yeah, you have predatory stars, and they're pretty strong. This one is just invasive. What it does is that it's a predator of coral. This is a spiny sea star. It eats coral, and it's not that they're strong. The fact Sea stars often completely like they often hunt mollusks. When they are smaller, they open the mollusk. They open the bivalve. They eject their stomach, pre-digest, and then basically eat the soup again. So re-drink their own stomach and the content of the shell to digest it for real this time. Bigger ones would just go on the literally go on the shell and eat it and digest it from the inside, and then like literally just I believe they also eat sponge. They do also eat sponge. Depending on some sea stars eat fish too. Some sea stars do eat fish using some tactic that I will show you later. But what they do here is that how do they open the thing? Because they are not particularly strong. I mean, for an animal of their size, they are pretty strong. They are able to generate a force of 12 newtons, which is about what an adult human would do to basically support the weight of 1 kilogram using their arms. So it's pulling a weight of about 1 kilogram. And because they have adhesive feet there, they're able to pull. But the trick here is that their skeleton is hydraulic. Remember that. The bivalve uses its muscles in order to move and to keep the shell closed. They need to contract their muscles in order to keep the shell closed. So this muscle right there is fighting the sea star. The sea star is perfectly chill because what it has is patience. It is capable of exerting the same force without exerting energy, without using energy, because it's using water pressure. The pressure of water, if it keeps its channel closed, is going to stay exactly the same. The only expenditure of energy was to generate this force. Once the force can be applied, the sea star can completely apply this force always. They basically eject the stomach envelope their prey, and then they inhale that shit like Kirby. Yeah, for the big ones. For the small one, there's a fight. There's a fight that happened before. CGO Starma. Oh no, you're making me think of Starma Miami. But yeah, this CGO Starma is able to exert this force indefinitely. The muscle is not able to do that because the muscle, remember, contracts its muscle, contracts the muscles to keep its shell closed. So the sea star, exploiting literal muscle fatigue, will open the thing, eject the stomach, and then inhale it, and then do the digestion and then inhale. That is how terrifying a predator they are. But it can be much worse. Especially if you are a fish. Because some of them have specialized feet. I've already shown you the pedicile. I've already shown you them. Some of them are capable of injecting venom. Some of them are capable of grabbing with, again, the exact force that I've described before, without ever tiring. And some of them are just adhesive. Some of them are just plain adhesive. So that's what they do. That's just what they do. They imagine you have sorry about that. You have a dumb fish coming here, gets grabbed by the feet, by those claws, and by the adhesive sides. It tries to fight. It's impossible to fight. It gets eaten, which basically just means that it's digested alive. Yay! It is a terrible end for each and every one of its prey. Each and every one of the prey of the sea star meets a terrible end. And yeah, that's about all I can say about the echinoderms. Like, I'm not specialized into animals, so fish are dumb. But they are. But they are. I mean, there's some fish that are pretty intelligent, but depends. Depends. So we have a conclusions. Echinoderms are pretty fascinating, delicious and creepy, and some like the brittle star are pretty crunchy. Oh yeah. Another thing about sea stars is that they are susceptible to disease, predation, and parasites due to the way they move. Which is like they can't exactly do anything about it. Like if a fish decide to go inside of a sea cucumber's anus, the sea cucumber is not going to be able to do anything about it. If something decides to eat an urchin, if the urchin has like its defenses breached, there's nothing it can do about it. If the sea star is being eaten, and there's a lot of example of predation from two sea stars, it's going to be eaten. Like once it's attacked. Yep, pretty much. Yeah. I'm going to use that as my defending sentence. But what it led to was the development of very unique adaptations, and they play very important roles in the marine ecosystem. And echinoderms are the most deceptively mystical thing in the animal kingdom. And that was echinoderms. Thank you very much. Congratulations in passing another class. Congratulations in passing another class. Yay. No. The true question is no, not this one. This one. Yeah. Any questions? Any questions indeed? I am here and I am ready to. Oh shit! Really? No. Shit. This one will be better. Yeah. This one will be better. Yeah. What's chat? Chat is here. Okay, cool. Nice. Sorry for the scuff. The scuff is present. The scuff is here. Sorry for the multi-dimensional travel. It happens. You know. But yeah, echinoderms. If you have any questions, please ask away about both the class and the preceding class, the subjects of the preceding class. I would be very happy to answer and or investigate live the answer to your question. Yeah. Pause to check. Very good. I think that was a cool class. I am the scuff! Oh, thanks for everything, guys. Thanks for everything. But yeah, that was them. And they're pretty cool. And yes, the titles are going to be... unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to make the title longer, because this is literally the maximum length that a title can be. So I'm not going to be able to describe everything that... I'm simply going to have to go after a while. I'm going to have to cut Opisthokonta, which is I'm going to have to cut Metazoa. You know. But yeah, it's alright. It's all cool. I'm going to save Parasite classes number 5. Already 5 Parasite classes, and we're already seeing sea stars. 1 math classes. You see nothing! Come on! Shit. They're onto me. Shit. Shit. Are they gone? Is the math police gone? Oh God. Okay, so let me open it. Is the math police gone? Wait. Oh, damn, there's a lot of reactions. That's a lot of reactions. Damn. Damn. Aww. Slip. Love that math. Oh shit. I'm not crazy Oli. I have retained very little mathematics. Very little actual mathematics from my classes. Like, I have retained very little mathematics. Only what is basically. I mean, maybe age would help me if one day there will be math class. But like I can't do more like quadratics. You know, I know how to do quadratics. I know how to do matrices. But after that, I do like math, but. I completely forgot how to do differential equations. I completely forgot how to do primitives. I forgot most of my derivatives. Can you beeline in a situation? Beeline? What is beeline? What is beeline? But sorry, ESL moments. What is beeline? Straight and focused, like 9% of things meant towards something. Imagine asking a French parasite to do math. Yes, since Costan are covered. Oh shit. Shit. Fell to me. You know that I always hated trigonometry. I've always hated trigonometry. I was shit at geometry. Which is why I was so pleased, so happy when there was numbers involved again in geometry. Like when I could calculate my way out of a geometry problem rather than actually having to do a figure. Like when I could like make it as an equation rather than anything else, I was so relieved. Beeline mean that the hypothesis of triangle is traversed. You mean like Euclid's theorem? You mean like two rectangular triangles that are separated? That are basically like, how do you say, like reproduction of one another, sharing the same hypotenuse, sharing the same angles, using not Euclid, like it's phallus. And the number go away again, and you get to do geometry with cursed letters. Oh God, no, God, shit, fuck. I mean, letters I can do with, because this is basically only logic. Except that my logic is pretty scuffed. But I had a lot of fun with matrices. The most difficult subject that I've ever had was congruences. Like, what is congruence in? Congruence. Mathematics. In English, is it called a congruence? No, it's not. It's not about that. No, it's not the geometry. It's yeah. The most complicated thing that I had to do in math was Lamanujan congruences and calendar mathematics. Calendar mathematics can go fuck itself. I hate it. I absolutely freaking hate it. Like calculated dates is fucking horrible. I hate it. Basically, with calendar mathematics, using using basically a single date, you are able to determine what day of the week it would be. And basically calculate the whole alphabet, calculate the whole, well, calendar, thanks to that. So for fun, sometimes with friends, I calculated when they were try to guess whether when they were born, well, the day, using their birth dates, using their date of birth. Dates, they do suck. Oh, they do suck. The first Python and the first and only Python program that I tried to do was a calendar. Well, rather a calendar calculator, which then you would be able to post a date and say, okay, this was a Monday, this was a Tuesday, this was a Wednesday, this was a blah blah blah. But I wasn't able to do it. Like, there was too many things. Too many. I don't have the logic for that. I don't have the head for that. One of my very first things in school during an internship was to make an add-on that would schedule stuff around special dates and holidays. Oh god, those are the worst. I had to do that too. I mean, it was when I was in high school, so I was way better at math than I am now, but oh boy, no. I hate it. I mean, I was so happy. I was so happy when cosine and tangents were basically devoid of triangles. That was cool. But so national holidays are easy when you go for Christian holidays, more or less easy still. When you go for Muslim holidays, we're shit rid of. Yeah, because you have to calculate two calendars. You do have to calculate two calendars for that. So it's two different calendars. It's not even on the same calendar. That's a problem. Like you can't put it on a single calendar. You have to go on the other calendar in order for them to make sense. In the end, I made just a scriptable as in a single config format where you could go and enter the code, enter the rules yourself. Show me Namoto moments. But yeah, you do have. That's the thing with the Muslim calendar is its own calendar. You can't put your holiday in a Gregorian calendar and them making sense year by year, because a solar and a lunar calendar don't exactly have the same objective. Especially since it's like 11 months. So there's quite a few days, like quote unquote missing in the Muslim calendar. But yeah. I think that if there's not more questions, we're going to be able to end there. I might not do math classes, but I can guarantee you that there will be French classes soon enough. But tomorrow will be blasphemous, and I hope that it will be the end, and I will not oversleep this time. That is with the Guregan seal of quality. I will try to stay awake. Tomorrow Molly is doing an art stream, so if she finishes before or after, depends on when. Blasphemous will entirely depends on when she will end stream. Because I'm too much of a Molly fan for that. I'm too much of a fan of the snail. The snail that basically in a single video convinced me to buy Library of Ruina that we're going to play Saturday. But yeah, I can show you the schedule. Yeah, I can show you the schedule. I don't know which. Okay, which one is the schedule? Which one is the schedule here? It's image 30, but image 30 is not good. Ugh. Yeah, we're going to have to change the image because yeah, my schedule is done, but it wasn't the actual schedule that I wanted. Let me image 30, please. Where is it? Which 30? Let's go. Yeah, this is the schedule. This is the schedule this week. We have done the education stream. Yeah, it wasn't at 2 p.m. But I needed preparation. Tomorrow will be Blasphemous. The day after tomorrow will not be Disco Elysium. We'll basically end Blasphemous 2 to go to Disco Elysium on the Tuesdays. Then it will be Darkwood. And then we will finish Armored Core 6. We will finish the NG++. And then it will be Library of Ruina. And after that I will have to decide on which game I will do for my Twitch streams. Which might be Alien Isolation or another horror game. It is after all Spooktober. So we're going to specialize in spooks. I'm also going to do a special stream during this month. Where I will basically just play Dead Space 2 as fast as possible. I have the objective to beat it under 4 hours. Under 4 hours. Because I am still very rusty. Like, I am still extremely rusty. My record, when it comes to speed for Dead Space 2, is 3 hours. It's 3 hours. And if I look at speedrun.com, speedrun.com Dead Space 2, because that was something that I thought that I would qualify, you know. That would actually qualify. In casual Dead Space 2 for in real time is finished in 1 hour. So I don't do it like, I don't play very fast. I don't play that fast. I might need to learn the glitches if I want to. Shark hat. I might need to want to learn the glitches in order to be able to go into the podium, because yep, I would like be like, with my best time I would be like 35th, no 36th, which sucks. Like sucks a lot. I don't know any of the glitches. Like any percent glitchless. In glitchless, in glitchless I would be like, I would actually be like in the top 11 if I were to actually put my mind to it. But once again, in glitchless you have 2 hours. Come on, what the heck? 2 hours in glitchless? Holy shit, that is way too much. What color is the worm in the brain? Technically translucent because very small, but very red because of the blood that is that it's eating. Red is my color. Red is very much my color. Very much my color. And one of the badges that I have on Twitch, I'm going to show you, shows exactly how the worm is. How the little wormy, what the little wormy looks like. Let me try to show it. Let me show it to you. Let me show it to you. Yeah. This is basically what it looks like. Yeah. With more teeth. With way more teeth. Like, I tried to make it cute. I tried to make it cute. And yeah, I draw with mouths. I draw with my mouth. Please understand that I am a shit artist. Like, I am not an artist, and I draw with my mouse. I am not good. I am not good at all when it comes to drawing and or singing, even though I will try because I love to do those things. Even though I'm shit. Yeah. But that's one of those things. Like, singing and drawing are things that were never taken seriously in my family. Like, especially drawing. Like, I was, my father was very much anti-drawing. Yeah, with a mouse. I mean, I'm used to it by now. I'm used to it, and I saw people that did extremely good stuff with the mouse. So it's entirely my bad. Like, Tenra Miami does a lot of things with the mouse, and she's great. She's great. But yeah. Yeah, I came into drawing very late. Very, very late, and I don't exactly have the material. So, for a moment, just trying to do what I can. Just trying to do what I can. But hey, we'll see. We'll see. It is a good month after all. It's the month where I'm very sleepy, but it's a good month. It's a very good month. And we are currently in... I mean, we missed Oktoberfest. Ah, too bad. I might also try to play some Toho this month. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes. I can guarantee, however, tomorrow will be Blasphemous 2. Tomorrow will be Blasphemous 2. I can assure you that, and you know how I can assure that is because I do have the thumbnail already. I do have a thumbnail already, which is my seal of guarantee, and it's this one. This will be the end. This will be the end of Blasphemous because it's in the thumbnail, and the thumbnail never lies. The thumbnail never lies. Please, folks, understand. The thumbnail never lies. It never lies. So yeah, that was me, Guregan the Parasite Vtuber. I'm not the girl, I'm my actual parasite. I hope that you appreciated this class and this little cooling down that we did after that. I'm going to leave you to it. Unfortunately, I don't know any channel that I can raid, or no ways to raid people. Oh well, we'll leave that for after that. We'll leave that for Twitch. Ah. It was a pleasure. See you, bye!